Hare Krishna Mataji, may I please introduce the reciter and the translator for the day? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Our reciter for today was Rukmini Ananta Narayan Mataji. She lives in Mumbai, Maharashtra. She is studying mass media and she is associated with ISKCON Mangaluru since June 2021. She has learned shloka chanting in her childhood and she loves to travel. Our translator for the day was Harshali Gowda Mataji. She lives in Mumbai, Maharashtra. She's studying in grade 12 science. She's associated with ISKCON Mangaluru since December 2020. Mataji serves as admin, co-host, reciter, and translator. She also teaches in Radha Govinda Kids Sunday School online. Her hobbies are Bharatnatyam, singing, and reciting shlokas. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimiraandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Namo Mahavadanyaya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrindi ki jai. Namachari Haridas Thakur ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, you all unmute. You can all unmute and say once Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
I would love to see you also, but none of you
Hare
keep
Krishna.
your videos on. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Rajani Varma. Nice Mataji. Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Who is this now? Santosh Mataji. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay, interesting chapter. Go now. You can see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji.
Okay, thank you. Okay, me unmute on. Okay, so chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya, Yoga. So from chapter 7 to chapter 12, it's all about devotion, right? So in this, we are going to, Krishna is going to reveal the most confidential knowledge. So the same thing he is going to tell in the chapter 18, the famous verse. But here in chapter 9 itself, Krishna is going to reveal. So let's take our obeisances to Radha Govind, DTs ISKCON Mangaluru. And all the 18 days, what we are sharing with you, the knowledge is based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So these are deities in Mayapur, Panchatattva. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all the other Panchatattvas. So, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyamyanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajnatva mokshase shubhat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you the most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence." So here the word, the most important word is anasuyave. I mean, means you are non-envious. So Krishna does not reveal the knowledge to anyone, like who are envious. For them, Krishna will never reveal, or even they will not be able to understand the Lord. He doesn't manifest to the who does not have belief in God, right? Like Duryodhana and other demons. I mean, the demonic nature people, they will never understand Krishna. And so even in the purport, Prabhupada gives, I'll just read the purport. The Sanskrit word anasuyave in this verse is also very significant. Generally, the commentators, even if they are highly scholarly, are all envious of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the most erudite scholars write on Bhagavad Gita very inaccurately because they are envious of Krishna. Their commentaries are useless. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, like, we never Mayavadi Bhashana Sunile to huve sarvanash. Means if we listen to people or we read the Bhagavad Gita written by a atheistic or the people who are not believing God, right? Even our knowledge also we will get spoiled. So we should never listen to them. And the commentaries given by the devotees of the Lord are bona fide. That is why we have to read a Bhagavad Gita which is coming from a bona fide sampradaya, right? No one can explain Bhagavad Gita or give perfect knowledge of Krishna if he is envious. One who criticizes the character of Krishna without knowing him is a fool. So many we see, like there are so many spiritual organizations who are sharing the Bhagavad Gita or anything. You have to see the life of the people who has taken or who is reading this Bhagavad Gita. Hardly there will be any change. Why it is like that? Because there is no there is no proper message what Krishna is trying to convey, that is not being conveyed. But if you take this Bhagavad Gita as it is, you will understand from Prabhupada's purport. Like so much, like Prabhupada, nowhere he's changing the words of Krishna, and also he's taking scriptures like from Bhagavatam, so many references from all Puranas, and everywhere you will get, mainly you will see in ISKCON, like for everything there is a evidence. There is nothing without evidence. Whatever Prabhupada quotes, for that there is a evidence. It is not like simply he talks. So we have to always take a bona fide guru like Prabhupada. So one who criticizes the character of Krishna without knowing him is a fool. So such commentaries should be very carefully avoided. For one who understands that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the pure and transcendental personality, these chapters will be beneficial. So who will be able to understand? At least we need to, if we need to accept the Lord Krishna as supreme personality of Godhead. Only then we will be able to understand the knowledge. So here Prabhupada also says, like, the envious people are compared to. So what exactly is envious means? Like, I like the fact you have. I mean, I like the thing that you have, but not the fact you have it, right? That is called being envious. So we like something what the other person is having, but we don't like that he is having it or she is having it. We feel that I should have had that, maybe. So that envious nature should not be there. So here he and Prabhupada says that this snake is envious nature because it unnecessarily go and bite someone, right? That is called envious. So if somebody is very envious, Prabhupada says that that person is going to take next life as a snake. So if Prabhupada says something, then it will happen, because Prabhupada is a self-realized soul. So here Krishna is saying that I am going to tell this divine knowledge, the most confidential. See, like even in our families, if we want to share anything very confidential, whom we say, like very close ones, right? And especially if it is relating to money matters and these things, only you will share with your spouse or something, right? So whatever properties you have, or very you choose the people whom you want to share this. So Krishna is sharing this knowledge to Arjuna because he is the most because he is a envious and is a great devotee of the Lord. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secret. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and is joyfully performed. So this is a secret of secrets. So basically Krishna in the we have understood like what is the realization, right? Three types of realization. If we say the Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, or Bhagavaneti iti Shabdate. So what is Brahman? So Brahman is said to be confident, and then confidential, and then Paramatma realization is more confidential, and the most confidential part is the Bhagavan realization. So Krishna says, the last shloka is, of this chapter, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayinah. So Krishna is telling that how one has to surrender to the Lord, and you become my, think of me, become my devotee, pay obeisances, and then surely you will come to me, right? So why is he saying that? So this knowledge is the most highest knowledge. So Guhya tamam, this is the most confidential knowledge which Krishna is sharing. Susukam kartum avyayam. So it has to be joyfully performed. This bhakti, it is not like something we are doing just like that, any work, like, no. I mean, you have to take, I mean, the interestly we have to, even Rupa Goswami also says you have to do the devotional I mean, with great enthusiasm, one has to perform the this one the devotional service. So we can we'll see one story of Narada Muni. So Narada Muni in his previous earlier in his previous life, he was a Gandharva. So what happens? He once he was like, he was very good looking, and many apsaras and all were I mean they were all so much they were liking his beauty, right? And then what happens one day, when something very serious Hari Kirtan is happening in a in the Devatas, right? In all the Devatas were doing Hari Kirtan, and Narada Muni goes there. I mean, as a Gandharva, he had a different name. So he goes there, and he sings something not related to Hari. He something, I mean, very casually he starts singing something else, and they all got offended. I mean, the Devatas, they get angry at him, and they give him shrap, like they curse him, saying that you are not fit to be in this world, I mean in this planet, so you take a human life, right? Like it is a shrap. We think that if for us, if we say like animals or like lower we see, but for devatas the human life is a very bad, right? Is a body of blood and stool, so it's not a nice body, because they always smell good, they don't sweat like us, so they give a shrap, like you become a son of a poor maid servant. So he takes birth in his next life as a son of poor maid servant. So what happens one day, the in Chaturmas, all the great sages, right? They Bhakti Vedantis, they come to the ashram. So they come, and his mother very sincerely she serves the devotees, and as a kid he also serves them. And once he eats the remnants of the pure devotees. It is said that if we eat even the remnants, okay, whatever the leftover is there, if we eat, we will also get that bhakti, we will get that pure devotion, because they are all so pure. So he asked them if I can eat, and he eats. So after that he and in very short time his mother also dies because of a snake bite. So this boy, he was just a 5-year old, but then he was not disturbed, because he had got that realization from the Bhakti Vedantis. Then he understands that this is everything is a plan of Krishna. And then it is then he just walks through the forest, and there's a big story in Bhagavatam how he becomes Narada Muni in the next life, right? So he then starts meditating on the Lord, and the Lord gives him, I mean, he so much he meditates and he starts crying. Then Krishna gives him darshan, like as a Paramatma. He could see the Paramatma in his heart, and for a second he sees himself together, he sees, and then suddenly Paramatma disappears, and then he starts to search where did he go. But then hears a voice. God says that you are still apakva, you are not ready, so you have to do more austerity, then only you will be able to see me. Then he does, and in that life, I mean, very in few months or so he does, and he leaves the body, and then he becomes the Narada Muni. So very happily he performs his devotional service. So this we need to learn from Narada Muni. So how do we perform the devotional service in Kali Yuga? So we all know the chanting of the holy name. That is the first thing, right? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasti eva nasti, eva nasti gatir anyata. So in Hari, there is no other go, no other go, no other way in Kali Yuga other than chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So how do we perform? There are various like Navavida Bhakti. So once Prahlad Maharaj, right, his father Hiranyakashipu asked him, so what are you learning in Gurukul? Then he says that whatever my teachers, like Shukracharya's sons, right, to Shanda and Amarka. So they both, whatever they taught is useless. But my spiritual master has taught me very nice Navavida Bhakti. So he is the one who said this. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So we have who are the leaders or who represents this for every, like for Shravanam, it is Parikshit Maharaj, because he is the one who sat for 7 days and without water, without food, and he heard the whole Bhagavatam because he was inquisitive. So that is most important in devotional life. We have to have that interest to hear about the Lord, hear about the glories of the Lord. So here, this is Parikshit Maharaj, he's for Shravanam, and then Kirtanam. So this is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu here, but here this is represents for Kirtanam, it is Shukamuni is the like he's a head, like Shukamuni, because he was the one who told this Bhagavatam. So then comes for Vishnu Smarana. We all know that how Prahlad Maharaj was always in remembering the Lord Vishnu. So Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. So Pada Sevanam is Lakshmi Devi. So she is always serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam. So thousands of Lakshmis are saving, are serving the lotus feet of the Lord. So here Archanam. Archanam is Prithu Maharaj. So he was doing an elaborate temple worship, Prithu Maharaj. So he is the he is for Archanam. And this is Akrura. So for Vandanam. Because when he comes to take Krishna and Balram to Mathura, when he comes to Vrindavan, when he saw immediately while coming the steps of, he sees the step mark, he thinks that, he feels that this is the footprint of the Lord Krishna. So then there itself he starts to pay obeisances. That is why he is called as Acharya for this Vandanam. And there are many prayers of Akrura when he comes to Vrindavan. It's again in Bhagavatam. And then Dasyam, we all know that can be none other than Hanuman, Lord Hanuman, who is a great devotee of Lord Ram. And then for Dasyam, so Arjuna was he was like in a friendship mode, right, with Krishna. They were like cousins. They were mostly always like a very friendly manner he used to move with the Lord. And then Atma Nivedanam is Bali Maharaj, because he gave himself, he gave his life for Lord Vamana. So these are the Acharyas. So Gita knowledge is the king of education. So we have studied various things in our colleges or schools, right? But what is the highest knowledge is Gita knowledge, because whatever we hear or learn in Gita, nowhere we have learned, right? Nobody teaches us how to live in this world, what is the problems that it may come in this world, or how we can come out of these problems. So there can be a part of it, like many people, they can, right? It is very famous. I mean, we may get it in many places, but then again, that is all like YouTube or everything we may see. But then it again depends on that person's thoughts and interpretations about life and everything. It cannot be always true, right? Because we all are born with that 4 defects. We all know that. Imperfect senses, we make mistake, we illusioned by Maya, we have cheating propensity and all this. So that is never perfect. So, but Gita knowledge, which is given by the Lord himself, it is the most perfect knowledge. So we have to take it from the Lord. So if we are not serious in school, what happens? We remain in the same class, right? So if we are not serious in bhakti, we remain in the same cycle of birth and death. So we keep on. If we are not, what will happen? We can live here. Okay, I'm not interested in devotion. I'm more interested in materialistic activity. What happens? I get lost, right? Maya will make me busy, and I'll be get engaged in. I will tell I don't have time for spiritual things and all this. But then after I leave this life, again it will be, I'll keep taking life after life. So there's no end for it, right? Ashraddhadana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in the material world. So basically the faith, right? The faith is very important. It is Ashraddhadana Purusha, the person who are not faithful. So basically, Krishna always stress this point. One has to be, we need to have faith in the Lord. Otherwise, if we are not saying, no, I need to experiment everything, it is not possible, right? We cannot experiment all the things. We need to believe in our Shastras, and whatever our Veda says, or whatever is written in our scriptures, we have to take. That faith should be there. So there are faith. There are 3 types of devotees. They're different. The faith will be different. Like the Kanishta Adhikari. So when we come to devotional life, like we, right, we have just taken the devotional service. So we are like in a Kanishta Adhikari level. So what will happen in Kanishta Adhikari level? He don't know to discriminate who is right, who is wrong, right? You feel like you are listening to Bhagavad Gita now. So you feel, okay, what Mataji is saying, okay, everything seems right. Okay, Krishna is the Supreme Lord and everything. And then again you go outside, some people say something, and then you feel, okay, this is also right, right? You don't, I mean, we don't have the discrimination right now. So that is called as Kanishta Adhikari, right? And then comes the but he will, the Kanishta Adhikari, whoever, even if he does one mala, he's also a Vaishnava. So Prabhupada says that person is also a Vaishnava. Once he starts chanting, this person is called Vaishnava. So slowly he will also elevate from the Kanishta Adhikari to Madhyama Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari. So Madhyama Adhikari is someone who knows the differentiation. He knows, and his behavior is different with different people. With devotees, he is very friendly, compassionate, and helping, and these things. But then with the non-devotees, especially with the atheistic, with the non-devotees, he'll be compassionate, because he want to bring those souls to the right direction. He want to give the Krishna consciousness to them. But then if somebody is atheistic, he avoids them. He don't want to interact with those. He completely avoids them. He knows to differentiate. And Uttama Adhikari is someone, he does not differentiate, because he is like, he sees everyone, right? Brahmabhuta prasannatma nashoshati nakanshati sama sarva bhuteshu madbhakte labate param, right? So he is seeing everyone, like we saw, one more shloka we see that Krishna says, the person who sees everyone, a dog eater, a brahmana, and everyone as a same. So he is in that level. He cannot differentiate, Uttama Adhikari. So Prabhupada says that when somebody wants to teach, he has to come lower actually. Prabhupada, he is a Uttama Adhikari. He is a self-realized soul. He don't have differentiation, because otherwise, how can he go to the West and teach? Or like all of them were involved, they were doing all breaking the 4 regulative principles. But then he went to West, and because he is seeing the soul, not the person. He is seeing only the soul, not the caste, creed, nothing. So, but if he has to teach, he's coming to Madhyama Adhikari, and then he's teaching. So the faith are different for different people. So this is a cycle of birth and death. So we think that death is very painful, but actually in Bhagavatam states, we'll post a video on that, you see later. So how birth is also painful. So when in a mother's womb, like it is said, like there can be sometimes, if a soul is so unfortunate, it cannot see the light, that is sun. Means when it take birth, it sees the light, right? It can go on like 1,000 life, it can die in mother's womb. Sometimes mothers may, like the abortions and these things happens. So the soul cannot, because it want to come out and it want to go back to Godhead again. It has to go through the evolutionary process. But what happens when some soul is died in the stomach, right? We are like, it is an offense. Prabhupada says that is very sinful. If we are doing that, we'll also get such life. We'll also not see birth. Whatever we do, we are going to face it. So because the karma cycle is like that. So Prabhupada is very against that. We don't have right to kill any soul like that. So that is one thing. And the other thing is, in mother's womb also, it is very suffocating for the child. It seems it is very suffocating, and it has to all gaseous gases, right? Those things, like whatever mother eats, and if it is not, the baby has to take all that, and the worms will be eating all its body and all that. So these are all very detailed explained about how the birth is also not so easy. So it is very painful to go through this cycle of birth and death. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina Matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvastitaha. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So Krishna is outside because he is the one who has created, but then he is also there inside. Whenever devotees call him, Krishna appears, right? So because it is the cosmic manifestation is considered as a Krishna's limbs, right? His hands, legs, head, and like that it is compared. And it is said that the sun and the moon are like Krishna's eyes, right? So that is actually material form. But then Krishna also has his personal form. So we know this, right? How? Okay. So how Krishna, like Balram, comes and complains that Krishna has eaten the mud. So then Yashodamata asks him to open his mouth and see. He says, first he ignores that he has not eaten, and then he opens and shows her, right, the entire universe. Sorry, I have not kept the audio because then we will have the copyright issue. Yes. So by seeing that all the planets, everything inside his mouth, she faints. Actually, it said that she also sees herself inside. So this is called as Achintya Beda, Beda Tattva, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said. That is like Krishna is there inside and outside. So this is very difficult for us to understand because we don't have so much intelligence, right? Like for example, there's an ant in this room and which is listening to the Bhagavad Gita, or it cannot even if it is listen also, it can't understand anything because its intelligence is limited. Similarly, we are nothing. We are like an ant in front of Lord, right? We cannot understand so many things. So how do we understand? We need to understand from the Shastras. The whole cosmic order is under me. By my will, it is manifested again and again, and by my will, it is annihilated at the end. Oh Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached, seated as though neutral. So Krishna is not attached, he is detached from this. Though every day, like the day of Brahma, the material universe, it manifests, and then at the end of the day, it annihilates. But Krishna, he is not attached to it. He is neutral. He is there as Paramatma in our heart, but he does not, like some people will tell, okay, whatever bad things I do, okay, Krishna is only making do. Everything is Krishna, right? No, no, no. Krishna will not make us do. Krishna is only Upadrashtanu Mantacha. It comes in chapter 13. That is, he is only the seer. Krishna sees, and he's whatever I desire, he grants me, right? It is me who is willing. It is me. Because of me, I am taking so many births, right? It's my desire. My soul is desiring something, and it is because of that I am facing the problems or whatever. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So material nature is like a shadow. She works, material nature, the Devi, she works as a shadow of the Lord. So whatever he says, she just does it, right? She is like a servant. So everybody, like all the devatas, are like they are working for the Lord. They are like an administrator. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that Ekale Krishna, Ekale Ishvara Krishna, Bhaki Sabha Bhritya. That is only one, the Lord is Krishna, everybody else are his servants. So here also, material nature, she is also, Krishna is telling, she is one of my energies. So what are the energies? You can post in chat. Anybody remembers? What are the three energies? Please post your comment in the chat. Who remembers what are the three energies of the Lord? And we belong to which energy? Yes, can post your comments. No one remembers? Material, yes. External, yes. External, yes. Nude Bangera, yes. External energy, yes. What is it called? Internal energy, very nice. And then marginal potency, right? External, Krishna's external, like material nature, is the external energy, and internal is yoga maya. And then comes the we are in marginal potency, right? Krishna's internal potency, external potency, and marginal potency. So Krishna is telling here, material nature is one of my energy, and she works in my direction, right? And producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, it manifests so it manifests again and again. So even in Brahma also says this prayer. Shrishti sthiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka chayeva yasya bhuvanani bibarti durga ichchanu rupamapi yasya cha cheshtate sa govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami. So Shrishti sthiti pralaya. So all this like creation, maintenance, and the destruction. By whose guidance she just so she does the maintenance as per the instruction of the Lord Krishna. So it is said that. So these are the four yugas, we know, like in the Satya Yuga, they said like demons and they were living in different planets, right? The demons and the devatas. And then in Treta Yuga, it was in different countries, Sri Lanka and right, it was in Lanka. And then in Dwapar Yuga, it is said the it is in the same family, and now it is in the same person. That is the quality, like a demonic and the divine, both qualities that living in the. Okay. Avajananti mamudaha manushin tanumashritam param bhavam ajanantaha mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme lord of all that. Bhagavad. Okay. So the fools, avajananti mamuda, they don't understand that Krishna is uh, uh, he's a lord, he's the lord of the universe. They think that I am like a normal human person, right? When he comes in a human form, people think him. So Krishna knows everything. What kind of people are there in this world? So Krishna is telling they don't understand my transcendental nature. Krishna's body is transcendental. He is not like us, right? We have a different body. Our gross body is different. We have a subtle body and we have a soul. So soul is covered by different bodies. But for Krishna, everything is same. But the fools will never understand, right? They are so envious of the Lord. They think that, oh, he is just a normal. How much ever pastimes he did, Krishna has killed so many demons, that too without any weapons. Even after seeing that, they don't want to accept that he is the Lord. He lifted the Govardhan Parvat. He showed so many pastimes, but these demons, demonic mentality people, how much ever he did, they will never accept that Krishna is Lord. Moghasha moga karmanaha moga jnana vichetasaha rakshasima surim chaiva prakritim mohinim shritaha. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In the deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So Krishna says the persons who are bewildered. So bewildered means the Maya makes them forget. Krishna asks Maya, okay, this person is not having belief in me. So so she makes completely forget. So if we don't want to remember Krishna, it is very easy, right? Maya will take care of it. She will make us forget. But that is why we need to have faith in the Lord. So otherwise, the Maya will make us forget, and then the person gets attracted by demonic and atheistic views, right? And then in that, Krishna says that when he involved in that, his hope for liberation is also lost. So we know, like, this is Shishupala, right? He was like blaspheming the Lord like anything, like I mean, then finally Krishna killed him by, I mean, he had Krishna had promised his mother that I will give 100 excuses. After that, if any one word he says, like, then I will have to kill him. So that is why they don't understand that he is the Lord. right? It was a Rajasuya Yagna which Yudhishthira Maharaj was performing, and Krishna was made the he was his Pada Puja and all were done. He was made as a beneficiary of the sacrifice. He's the Lord himself, right? But then this person cannot bear that, because these demonic people, they want to lord it. Why is this? Why are we, first of all, why are we all here in this material world? Because we were envious of the Lord. It is said that we are envious of Lord. We wanted to enjoy on our own. Krishna wanted to enjoy with him. Krishna never said that you don't enjoy. You enjoy with me. No, we don't want it. We wanted to, we had our own desires and different things. That is why Krishna had to create this material world, so that we can enjoy how much ever. And then we realize what is real happiness. Is it here or with the Lord? And then we finally go to the Lord. महात्मनस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्य मनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as a supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So Krishna calls Mahatma. Who is Mahatma? So Prabhupada says that it is very become fashion, right? So everybody calls, like any politician also is called as Mahatma. So it is not Mahatma. Who is Mahatma? The person who has strong faith in the Lord, right? With so much determination, he is engaged in devotional service. That person who is not deluded, so that person is called as a Mahatma, who is in the divine, he is protection of the divine nature, under the protection of divine nature. That is called Yoga Maya, right? Yoga Maya, she is always protecting. So they will not be in any problem. So we may feel they are in problem, but they are on the material platform. We cannot understand. Prabhupada has gone through so many things. He had, so much of struggle whole life. But that is not a real problem actually. If we see the devotees of Lord, all great devotees of the Lord, Sudama, everybody, he had so much of property, but we may feel by seeing them that, oh, they are devotees, so Krishna is not helping them anything. So what is the Lord doing? Because Krishna does not see on materialistic platform, right? But they were always blissful. Their soul was so happy. They were always happy. They had strong faith in the Lord, that whatever God does is for the good. So that faith. So he is the Mahatma. So this is a story of Madhavendra Puri, which comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So for Madhavendra Puri, he is such a great devotee of the Lord. Lord used to come and feed him when he was not eating. Okay, can you imagine? So God is so merciful. He could know that some days he was not getting the bhiksha, right? He was a sannyasi. He used to madhukari, they call. So they do madhukari, means they have to go and beg in front of houses. They have to eat. So some days he was not eating. So Krishna, one day what happens? He didn't have any food. He was sitting and chanting. So like a small boy comes to him and gives him milk, and then he feels very happy, and by having that, and then he says, how do you know that I was fasting? I was not having food. He says that everybody in this village, or we don't leave anyone to be fasting. My mother told me that one sadhu is there who is not having. I come to know, that is why I came to you. Then he comes like a little boy, he gives, and he goes in a mud pot, and then he goes away. And then the night he gets a dream that the same boy comes in the dream, and he takes his hand and takes him to a place. Okay, this is a real story. Madhavendra Puri is none other than his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master. Like Ishwara Puri is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is his spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri. So what happens? So the boy takes him to a bush, and then he says, see, I am here inside this. Okay, my name is Gopal, and I was being, like, when this Muslim evaders came, they all, like the priest, what they did, they took all the original deities and they somewhere hided it, and then people all forgot, and then all bushes grow and all that. And then he says, you take it out from me and make a temple for me on the Govardhan Parvat, and then you do the puja, he says. And then next morning he gets up and he's surprised. Oh, then he goes in search, and all villagers come and they dig and they find the deity of Gopal, right? And then he was amazed and he starts crying that, oh my God, I couldn't identify. The Lord himself came and gave me the milk, and I couldn't identify the Lord. So this is a story of Madhavendra Puri, a great devotee of the Lord. So he is Mahatma, right? Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavratah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with great devotion. So always chanting the glories. If you see Prabhupada's lecture, you have to see there are many, like Vanipedia is there one channel where short lectures are there of Prabhupada. So I request everyone, please listen Prabhupada's lecture whenever you have time. They are really inspiring because when it comes from a heart of a great soul, right? Like Prabhupada, it really touches you. You can advance really in the spiritual life. So Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, always they are chanting the name of the Lord. And Yatantascha Dridhavrataha, they with their great determination. So Prabhupada, we know, like he at the age of 70, right? It was he was so old. At that age also, he was so determined to go to the West and preach this Krishna consciousness. And he had done the Rath Yatra also after going there, right? Jagannath Yatra has become, I mean, in all the countries, it is celebrated now, the Yatra, Jagannath Yatra. So Prabhupada introduced that in all the Western countries also. So that is a determination they have. पिताहमस्य जगतः माता दाता पितामहः वेद्याहं वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकारा ऋक्सामयजुरेव च. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am the Rik, the Sama, and Yajurvedas. So, father of the universe. Krishna is the father of universe. Why is Krishna says that we need to be compassionate? We have to see all the living beings as a soul, because he is a father. He has no discrimination. A father does not have discrimination between his children, right? For him, everybody are same. However they are his children. So that is why if we hurt any other living being, it is like Krishna will not like that, right? Because for him, everybody are children. He says, I am the mother, I am the support. So Krishna is the one who is supporting. Otherwise, how can we live in this world, right? He has given all that facilities what is required. There is nothing like if I want something, I have to go to some other planet and get it. Everything is made available here. Whatever I need, my needs are being satisfied. Krishna is supporting not only us, all the living creature, right? Or even the small ant. For everything, they find their own food. And even the elephant also, tons of grass or food the elephant needs, and that is also provided by the Lord. So Krishna is supporting all the living beings, and he's the grandsire because Brahma, he is also father of Brahma, right? Before Brahma, he was there. So he is the object of knowledge. Krishna is the one who is to be known, right? Of all the Vedas, he says, Vedaishta sarvera hameva vedyo. He is the one who is to be known. And the syllable Om. So Om syllable represent the Krishna and also the Vedas. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refugee, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. So I am the goal. So Krishna is the goal. For the end of why are the Vedas? We have to understand the Lord. So many people don't understand that. What is the purpose of Vedas? There are many Vedantists who read, but they just don't go to the final goal, right? It is to understand the Lord. Whatever rituals is given in Vedas is end result. We have to see what is the goal. That is to know the Lord. He is the sustainer, he is the master. And so Krishna is again saying this. He is the annihilation and basis of everything. So Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigra Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He is the basis of everything, resting place. So everything when annihilates, all of the souls, right? They go to the to Mahavishnu, right? Of Mahavishnu. So that is the resting final destination. We all have to go there. I mean, whoever have not got liberated will go there. But who gets liberation, they go to either Brahma Jyoti, based on the yogis, right? They the impersonalists, they meditate on Brahma Jyoti, they go there. But then the pure devotees of Lord, they want to go, they don't want just a liberation, right? Not just, they don't want to come out of birth and death, but they want to be always with the Krishna as a eternal servants, right? So they want to be in Krishna. I mean, it can be not just servant. We know, like, there are 5 rasas, right? Which with which we can associate with Lord. It can be Dasya, Sakya, Madhurya, Vatsalya, Shantarasa, all different rasas the person can. So that resting place, so that can be a spiritual world the devotee would like to go. Oh Arjuna, I control heat, the rain, the drought. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both being and non-being are in me. So, so Krishna is the one who controls the heat, the rain, right? And uh, uh, even he is the one who, like, eh, the sun and moon which comes, right? Everything as per the Krishna's instruction. The rain, okay, the Indra, right? Everybody works for Krishna, and I am the death personified. So whenever the death, we see the Lord when we die. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना gata kama kama labhante. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sensual pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of 3 Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So, Krishna is making it clear here. So, whatever Vedas says about the different rituals to be performed for attaining different things, and these things, by doing only that, if they are only stick to those things, they are not going above that, they are not worshipping, right? So, so it is said, like, when we do worship, right? So it is for Krishna, we do bhajate, it is called. Bhajate means it is to, without any desire, like without any expectations, we do with the pure devotion to the Lord, we worship. That is only done to the Supreme Lord, right? But with Devatas, we go and pray for the materialistic things. So here he says, Lord says that if we are only sticking to the principle of 3 Vedas, then we achieve only repeated birth and death. And if a person is heavily, I mean, enjoyed, I mean, what will happen? If even if you go to heaven, if all heavenly planet, so much of sense, right? It is like so much of sensual pleasure is there. So he enjoys, but then when Kshine Punye means when his punya is over, so he has to come back again. So in this way, like a giant wheel, right? How it goes up and come down. So we just keep on going to different planets. It can be to different planets, different species, but there is no end because we want to enjoy more and more. We just keep taking birth again and again. Very famous verse. Ananya Sintayanto Mam Yen Jana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So it's a story, the real story. There was one great devotee called Arjunacharya. Okay. So he was liking this verse a lot. He used to read again and again. So Ananya Sintayanto Mam. Always they think, right? They the devotion, with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form. So Krishna is telling here, for those devotees, I carry what they like and I preserve what they have. He used to always chant that. And then suddenly one day he realized, okay, he was very poor. Okay, he was having a Gurukul. He had 20 children and he was very struggling. They didn't have proper food to eat. Then he was thinking, so this cannot be. So I am doing so much. So if Krishna was really coming and giving directly, then where is Krishna? Lord is not come. So I think this is not wrong, something wrong here. Let me change. So he just on Bhagavad Gita, he puts a line, he scratches that line, and he writes there that I will send someone, like Krishna is telling, I will send someone and I will fulfill. So he does that, and then he does, and then his wife says that we don't have food, please bring something. Then he says that okay, let me go to take bath in the river, and I will check for some food. He goes outside, and suddenly after some time, two beautiful boys come. So they come, and they come with so much of all things which are sufficient for 6 months, so much of ration, right? For home, 6 months they can survive. So much of food they bring in the cart. They both come. She was surprised. Who are these boys? Beautiful boys. They look so beautiful. And then she asked, "Who sent you?" She says that your husband sent us, and your husband is so cruel, and he has beaten us. So then he shows him the backside. There is a mark. Okay, there was like a red mark. Then she was shocked. Oh, my husband was not so cruel. How did he do this? Then she feels very sorry for those boys. Then she says that please have food, and then they say no, 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 no. If your husband come, then he will beat us. So we will go. Then she forces them, and she gives some food. Though they have, and they ran away. And then Arjunachari comes home. Then she says, "There, what is this? So much of items here." Like which are then she says that two boys came, and they gave everything. So but why are you so harsh, why are you so cruel? They're so beautiful boys, you have bet them so much. So they had marks, had a marks on their body. Then he realized, oh, okay, so Krishna, I had marked this in the book that Krishna will not come, so that has come like a mark. So because he's a great devotee, immediately he realizes that is the Lord, none other than Lord. Then he feels that his wife is so fortunate, she could see the Krishna and Balram, that was none other than Krishna and Balram. And so what is the moral? Krishna's potency is unlimited, right? We cannot understand his power by our infinitesimal intelligence. So our intelligence is so small. What can we understand about the Lord who has created so many universes, right? So how can we understand? He expands himself to interact with each and every spirit soul personally. So Krishna can come in any form to help the pure soul who is a pure devotee, right? How Prabhupada, when he went to Russia, how that the immigration officer, how did they allow him? Because that was a communist country. How did they allow Prabhupada? Because the Paramatma was there in his heart, right? He gave him that heart. So Krishna only make them do all that. So he takes care of his devotee like that. यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्याः यान्ति मध्याजिनोऽपि माम्. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirit will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. So very nice shloka where Krishna is saying that Deva Vrata Devan. So whoever is worshipping the Devatas or the demigods, different gods, right? They take birth among demigods. So it's as simple as like we are taking a ticket I'm taking a ticket to Delhi and I sit in a Chennai train, right? What will happen? I cannot go to Delhi. I will go to Chennai. So whatever ticket you have taken, there only you have to sit. Why are you sitting? It will not take you there, right? So similarly, whatever we worship, if I am worshipping the demigods, then I'll go to their world. So if I worship, and then similarly, we have different planets, right? We saw yesterday the 14 planetary system. So there are different planets. Based on that, whatever we worship, we take our birth there. And if we worship the Lord Krishna, Krishna says that they will live with me. So we can understand. See, Krishna says live with me. So he is a person. How else if he's a energy, how can somebody live, right, with him? It is not possible. So Krishna is a person, we can understand from this. So these are the different destinations, whatever we do. And there is a story where there's one past Prabhupada, once there was a Prabhupada's devotee, Giriraj Maharaj. Okay. So what he does, he had a friend, Ramakrishna, his name. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So they both always used to have fight, that who is the supreme. So he used to say that Krishna is supreme, and then Giriraj Maharaj, and then his friend Ramakrishna, he used to say that Lord Shiva is the supreme, and they used to have fight, and they used to always have argument. And once Prabhupada, so Giriraj Maharaj says, like, when he meets him with Prabhupada, and then he had that. Then Prabhupada says that whatever we do, the puja, right? The puja, what we do, or if we see all the devatas, when you see the kirtans, or we do for other devatas, it will be like asking something, right? We are always asking something. I want this for Lakshmi also, or any stuti. If you see, it will be like ekakale pate nityam dhanadanya samanvitam dvikalamya pate nityam mahashatru vinashanam, like all that, like we say Shatru Vinashanam and all that, like many, all the stotras of other devatas, it is like asking something with the Lord. But then this bhajat, bhaja also has the dhatu from the bhakta, right? The devotee. So devotee and bhajate. So for only the Lord Krishna, you can do the pure devotion, because we are not expecting anything with the Lord. It is the with pure devotion you serve the Lord. Then that person asked Prabhupada, so I do bhajate for even the Lord Shiva, I will do that. So Prabhupada says that, okay, you go to a liquor shop and then you ask for a milk. Is it possible? So it's not possible. So it is not possible. So there is a limit. Even Ishvara, Lord Shiva himself says that Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param, the supreme. He tells Parvati that supreme Aradhana is of Lord Vishnu. And that too, above that is worshipping of the pure Vaishnavas. So if we serve pure Vaishnavas like Prabhupada and great devotees, pure devotees, that is even more higher. Krishna likes that. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyuparutam ashnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. So Lord Krishna is so merciful. He's not asking us to give like big bhog or anything. Yeah, he'll be pleased when we do, but then at least give a leaf. What is that leaf? The tulsi, right? A flower, a fruit, or a water, I will accept it. So anything you give, Krishna accept it. So what we have to do, so I request everyone, please, whatever you do with the you take like morning bath. Anyways, everyone, we take bath, take little bit early, okay, and then cook the food without onion and garlic. Don't use onion garlic, and then please offer the whatever you prepare. Not like you have to prepare bhog or only during festival. No, every day whatever we prepare, just prepare it and keep in a separate bowl. Keep a separate vessel for the Lord. Keep separate plate and glass and everything. And in that, you can keep a steel also, no issue. You can just keep the food and then offer it to Lord, and keep a tulsi on everything. One tulsi on water and on the food, right? Just offer it, keep it for some time, keep it for 5 minutes, and then mix that with your main food, and then everything become sanctified. It becomes prasad. It is no more than ordinary food, right? It becomes prasad. So 4 things we offer to Krishna: patram, pushpam, phalam, and toyam. Toyam means water. Devotees who offered with love. So Sudama, right? He was so poor. When he comes to see Krishna, Krishna was a king then in Mathura. His wife gave him the this beaten rice, right? Poha we call, poha ravalakki we say in Kannada, right? So that is he so like he was a king, but when he sees that Krishna, he pulls from him and he eats, right? So that is a sweet pastime. So devotees offered with love and Lord accept. And Shabari, she was she used to buy it and see, because she was very old. She could not pick the right one. So she used to taste it whether it is sweet, And then that Lord Ram accepted that from Shabari, and flower offered by Gajendra. So Lord was so pleased. He comes in his Garud Vahan and he accepts it, and he gives liberation to Gajendra. So what is prasadam? Okay. A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, right, says Krishna does not accept anything from hands of a non-devotee. Why should he accept? He is not hungry. So we all know that when Duryodhana invited him, Krishna didn't go. But then when Vidura, he said Vidura in the hall that I am coming to your home. He was so poor, he didn't have anything. But then Krishna went and have there, and that too, Vidurani, his wife, she was always dreaming that Krishna will come one day. I am going to serve him. I am going to serve him. But when he really came, she was taking bath. She didn't even see that. I mean, Vidura is an uncle for Krishna, and she sees the Lord in she sees, and she didn't even remember she's not wearing the dress also. She just opened, and Krishna comes, she starts serving. She don't know, she was in anxiety what to give, and she starts giving. She peels the banana, and she's throwing the inside fruit, and she's giving the peel to Krishna. Krishna even accepted it. He was so pleased. He was having the banana peel. So that is the Lord, right? But it has to be from the hands of a devotee. Then Krishna will accept it. He does not require any food. He accepts only with devotion. That's all. So what we have to do, the pure devotion with the pure heart you give to the Lord, he will surely come and take it. That is the main point. So one has to become a devotee. So this is a Chappan book in ISKCON. It is offered in the temples. So 54 items. So why eat prasadam? To purify our mind. So three things happens when we eat prasad. What will happen? It will purify our mind. So many anarthas are there in our mind, right? So kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsarya, everything it gets purified, and we can advance in bhakti. So many people, if they're just chanting, and they're attending the class, they may be attending from long time, but why some progress is not happening? Because they're not having the prasad. Krishna prasad is so powerful. Why? Because Krishna tastes it, right? It becomes Krishna's saliva is there in that. Because Krishna can take it. Krishna angani yasya sakalendri yavritti manti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadujvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So angani yasya sakalendri vritti manti. With any organ he can do the action of other organ. And Krishna, he can take it prasad. Why should we think that he should come and eat? Like, he can, any organ he can take it. And the deities are actually, if we think the God is there, then God is there, because he has come out of the pillar, right, as a Narsimha. So Krishna is there. So we have to have that belief and then to develop finer tissues in the brain. And it is very good if you start giving your children, they will also, their memory power will increase. They not only just they will be a good devotee, they can be a good student. They can excel well in their studies, right, in the schools, because that purity will be there. Their concentration will improve. So it will be very helpful. So, and also your consciousness when you cook, it has to be good. So don't have any it is very important, the consciousness of the person. Because why it is said, like, only in ISKCON, why devotees prefer to have only prasad? Because when you eat something, you are eating, that consciousness of the cook is coming there. Okay, whoever cook, that is why the taste of a food when mother prepare, it is very tasty, because mother's love is there in that. But then if we are having, we don't get that this in outside food, right? So when you are eating, if we eat in a hotel, and if the cook, whoever is preparing, if his consciousness was not good, if he had fight at home and he came in that consciousness, he cooked. So if you eat that, you will unnecessarily, you will feel something, you are disturbed. We don't know why reason, because it is very subtle. We don't understand this, but it is giving us so much effect. So that is why it is very important to cook. So Prabhupada used to cook himself. right? When he was in West, he used to cook for everyone, and then he used to cook for the devotees himself in hand, and he used to serve them. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhosi dadasi yat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So whatever we do, it is not just a food or whatever, whatever. So you want just do, even if the charity if we are giving, we have to think of the Lord and give charity. Then what will happen? It is no more papa punya, right? When we are doing taking Krishna Arpanamastu and giving, and then it becomes like a pure devotion. So it is like giving on behalf of Krishna, right? So it is not a papa or punya. It is like a giving. I mean, it is a sacrifice made to Lord. समोहम सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेषोऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम्. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend in me. I am also a friend to him. So Krishna, Krishna is not envious, right? Krishna is the Lord. Why will he be envious? He is giving all the facilities that is available in the material universe. He is available to everyone without any bifurcation, right? Without any discrimination. So everybody can take it. And Krishna is not partial, but whoever renders service. So he is a friend in me, and I am in friend. So Krishna will never forget. Whoever is doing in a pure devotion, Krishna will always remember. So we know like how the sweet pastimes that Krishna has with the Kupa boys. And then, so here Krishna, though he was as a charioteer, he was not supposed to lift a wheel, right? He takes the wheel and goes to kill the Bhishma because his to save his devotee Arjuna. So Krishna does not mind to do like he's a special favor he has for always for the devotees. So it is just like in a school, some children like who are like very much they sit and listen very I mean with the they have so much of respect to the teacher. They listen and then they do all the homeworks correctly. So the teacher will have special affection towards that children, those children, right? And then if the somebody else fail, they cannot blame the teacher that oh, teacher is partial. No, because teacher she is equal to all, but that special affection obviously will be there to someone who is more dedicated, right? This is the same thing Lord is telling, because Krishna is a person, so he reciprocates. So ye etamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante ye etamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante. What is that? I mean, everywhere bhajatam sarvashaha, something it comes. If I'm not getting that line, okay. Basically, what is Krishna saying there? That is comes in chapter 4. So whoever, like whatever, in whatever way they surrender unto me, I reciprocate in the same way. So the same thing Krishna is telling here. Api chet suduracharah bhajante mam ananya bhak sadureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha. Even if one commits abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in determination. So even if devotees sometimes, because of their like millions of life we have taken, right, and we have been engaged in materialistic activities, and that sinful the doing that sinful activity, that tendency is still there somewhere. So still, if sometime if a person falls down, Krishna says that he should be considered as a saintly because he is properly situated in determination. So this is a story of Jagai Magai. So there were two people who were born Brahmins, but then due to the association, they days, when they were involved in all sinful activities, right? They were drinking, they were cheating, they were unnecessary troubling people, they were thieves and all that. So once there was a Kirtan happening, Sankirtan, which was led by Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu is Balram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, right? So what happens? They hit a stone, and then it hit his head, and blood start flowing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was somewhere else, but since his Lord Krishna himself, he could understand that something wrong. Nityananda Prabhu was wounded. So this is a pastime actually, because they wanted to deliver. He is so merciful, Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would never deliver such fallen people, so he is more merciful. So that is why he made that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, and he takes his hand to for Sudarshana Chakra, and then immediately Nityananda Prabhu stops him, saying that, Lord, you are not supposed, you are come as a devotee, so you cannot exhibit this in this avatar, because he comes in a Yuga avatar, right? We saw in so many scriptures where Lord Chaitanya is said that he is the Lord, right? So uh, uh, so he says not to do, and then he asked them that you have to take forgiveness from the Nityanand Prabhu, and also you should become a devotee, then I will forgive you. Then they also become devotees. He quickly, so what happens then? He quickly becomes righteous and attain lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So that person, whoever, who is in the right determination, when we are in Krishna consciousness, and it is so strong that we will get purified. The more and more we chant and chant, our heart gets purified, and Krishna says that that person become righteous and attains lasting peace. So bhoktaram yajna tapasam, bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surudam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shanti mruchati. So one who understand, right, that that Krishna is the supreme controller, he is the enjoyer, and he is the well-wishing friend. He obtains the peace. So that is what Krishna is saying here, that my devotee never perish. And also, it's not just that when a devotee, he also delivers his ancestors and his parents, everyone, because when Prahlad Maharaj, right, Narsimhadev, he comes and saves Prahlad Maharaj, he kills Hiranyakashipu. After that, Prahlad Maharaj asked, Narsimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj, what is the boon you want? So Prahlad Maharaj says that I am not come here for a business, oh Lord. I don't want anything. I'm your pure devotee. I mean, I want to serve you. I don't want anything. If I ask anything, then it will be not nice. So he don't want to ask his father's life. He could have asked, but he didn't ask. Then Lord is very pleased. Lord says that, then he says, okay, then says, no, you have to ask something. I have come, you have to ask. Then when Lord force, he says that, okay, I would please forgive my father. See, so he all his life he had been giving so much trouble. Still, he says that forgive my father. So then the Lord says, the Lord is very pleased. He says, what your just father, I'll forgiven your 21 generations, whatever sin they have done, the 21 generation, they got relief. So this is the power. Like if somebody is in devotee, there is nothing to worry. It is Krishna is helping their family or family also. Most confidential knowledge. Manmana bhava madbhaktau madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. So Krishna is explaining here how we can engage our mind, right? He has been telling that I am the Supreme Lord, you have to worship me, you have to surrender me, but how? So Krishna is giving here, engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So there are three things Krishna is telling here. Always think of me. Okay, how do we think of Krishna? By chanting. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay, I'll unmute you all. You all can chant along with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Yeah,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna is saying, always think of me. So we can think by chanting. So Krishna is not different from his name, right? Name, Nama, Rupa, Guna. Form, Krishna's form is not different. His name is not name, form, quality, and past tense, nothing, not different from the Lord himself. So when we are thinking, or if you are taking the Lord's name, it is directly, we are associating directly with the Lord, right? We are communicating with the Lord and we become my devotee. So how do you become devotee? You worship the Lord, you keep prasad, and you, right? So that is the way we become devotee. And you read the scriptures, you attend the classes, all this, and then offer obeisances to the Lord, and worship me, right? Obeisances we do to the Lord, right? And we have to worship the Lord. Then completely observe, you will surely. So Krishna is giving assurance here, right? This is assurance. So Krishna is giving us assurance that if you do this, you will surely come to me. And Krishna will not lie. If he's saying something, Krishna will do that. So this is the thinking of me, and then paying obeisances and becoming devotee, right? That is obeisances and worship me as devotee. So this is the Prabhupada. So sometimes this is from Purport. Unscrupulous commenters distort the meaning. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna's mind and Krishna. There are some who are demoniac. They also think of Krishna, but enviously, just like King Kamsa, right? So Krishna, Prabhupada says that we should not think the Lord in a hatred manner. We should be always in loving manner. Kamsa also was always thinking, but it was not it was not alukulena. It should be anukulena Krishnanu. Okay, it is not pratikulena. It should be always thinking in a favorable manner, not in an unfavorable way. And then we know the 9 pros of devotional service, how we can involve in devotional service. Pure devotional service to the Lord that is free from speculative knowledge, mystic yoga, and fruitive activities. Those who are not purely sanctified may be attracted by different features of the Lord, like impersonal Brahma Jyotir and localized Paramatma. But a pure devotee directly takes to the service of Supreme Lord. So these are also not pure, because Brahma Jyoti also, they don't want birth and death. They want to be liberated. But then there is no service to the Lord there. So Brahma Jyoti, they'll be there without service. So there is no sweet pastime of the Lord, nothing. And localized Paramatma also the yogis do, because they want some siddhis to attain. So that is why. But the pure is the attaining the service of the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavita mam jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishwari bhavatat bhaktir ahaitu kitvayi." So bhavatat bhaktir ahaitu kitvayi. Life after life, I want to serve you. So he says that. So that is the pure devotee. So our relationship with the God is the best relationship we can have. Of all the relationship that we have in the world, the best relationship is to have with the Lord. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, any question? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, all of you are taking the quiz? All are taking the quiz, I suppose. You're all attending? Okay, yes. Yes, iPhone. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Mataji.
very nicely
I,
completed. Hare Krishna. Yes.
yeah, I have a question. Does the soul have gender?
No. I mean, it has in spiritual world. We all be, but we don't know now. I can be male also. So I am I male or female? We don't know. In this material body, as per our karmas, we get it. But but in spiritual life, spiritual every soul has some. Yes, there is a gender, and it has a form also. We have a spiritual form. Actually, this soul is said to be become very small, right? It is 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair. When it comes to material world, it shrink down, but then it takes its own form when it goes to the spiritual world, and it has a gender also. Yes.
So when you're saying Maya, you're saying it's a she, right?
Yes.
So
Devi Hesha Gunamai. Krishna says Devi Hesha Gunamai. She's Devi. Yes, Mataji.
then what about the Shakti in, like, Radhe, who's Radha? Radhe is
Radha is a
feminine, right?
yoga. Yeah, she is a yoga Maya, right? She represents yoga Maya, and Durga Devi, that is Ishvara's wife, that is Durga, or you can call Parvati, right? So Rama Devi, so different names. So she is the Maya. She is Maya Devi, who is the external energy of the Lord. But internal energy is Radharani, the yoga Maya.
Okay. So basically, if I consider, if my, for a soul that is an human being, we do not have a gender, right? Until it is basically there is no gender for the soul, and based on our karmas, we are given the
Correct.
body of a male or a female, or animal, or whatever it is. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
Radhe, Radhe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
I
Mataji.
have a question. Like I try to, complete 16 rounds a day, but because of this
Okay.
busy life, it's really not possible every day to, attain that. Is there anything written in Gita or said by Prabhupada ji, we need at least, like 35 million something in a lifetime to complete the chant?
No, not like that. Prabhupada says that if somebody does for 50 years, they will surely go back to Godhead. But then again, Prabhupada has given like 16 rounds. Actually, Prabhupada's spiritual master gave 64 rounds to do. Okay. So if we see our Japamala, right, you can see this. Totally, there'll be extra 4 here, right? So this extra 4 is like, for one is like 16 rounds, 16, 16, 16, 16, 64. So it was actually given like that. Then Prabhupada, when he went to West, he initially gave 32. Then everybody were not able to do it. Then they said, no, they cannot do. Then Prabhupada gave 16. So that is compulsory, because that is basically given so that we can, that is the whole day we can be protected. It is just like taking some antibiotics, right? It is like that. So, but Prabhupada has told that if somebody chant for 16 rounds, Prabhupada promised that he will take them to the Godhead. But it is nothing like so many count chant in a year. No, Mataji, nothing like that.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any other questions?
I have another question.
Yes.
In today's lecture, you said Krishna is asking, or Maya is taking instructions from Krishna, and she is trying to do whatever Krishna is asking her to do. So, my feeling is, why is Maya doing that? Why is Krishna not giving all the, it's not difficulties. I think in difficulties we remember Krishna, like Kunti Devi was telling, I want give me difficulties, so I always think about you. So why do we have this, sadness and happiness? Why can't Krishna make everybody happy? And why is he telling Maya to do that?
Yeah, because Mataji, it is our desire. We have desired like that. See, every living entity has its own desire, right? So they want, I wanted to enjoy something. The other person wanted different thing. So Krishna just grants. He is not like, he is like desire. If somebody is desiring, he grant. But then karma we only, right? I desired something, I got it, and but the whatever happening from that result, I only have to take care. So that Krishna will not involve, right? So, but then when we are in devotion, then actually now for us, like Paramatma is in a sleeping mode. But when we take up devotional service slowly, slowly, Krishna will start instructing you. You will be able to differentiate, and then that realization, that understanding, gradually Krishna will give the person that you do this, I mean, which is good for us and which is bad, automatically it goes from our life, right? That Krishna does it. Krishna does only that, but he does not. Desiring is in our hand, Mataji. Like we desired something, that is why this material world came, right? We all wanted something to enjoy. So what can Lord do for that? It is like a child, you're going to a marketplace, and it is like something, okay, roadside, so father don't want to give, but then he rolls on the road and he cries and everything. What will do? Okay, you take it, like, right?
Correct.
We do that because we don't want it actually, but he's crying so much, you don't have a choice, right? So that is what we are doing. We are making Krishna to so hard, and we take which is not good for us also, because he's just granting. Because then we have to work on our desires, what I desire. So that becomes very important.
True, very true. Now things are very clear. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And on another note, I have another question in mind. Today you had said, make sure you give fresh food to Krishna. But if I'm in a place where, I'm not able to cook everyday fresh fruit, can we just offer nuts and fruits to him?
Okay, where you are staying, Mataji? I mean, what is the issue for fresh food?
The thing is, fresh food is, for example, I don't cook like every day, right? For example, I cook for 2 days or 3 days and I'm eating leftovers,
Just
which is
first day
not
you
technical.
Okay, not actually good, but not good for you also. But then,
Yes.
if you're keeping for 2 days, but then once it becomes prasad, that is prasad, Mataji. You can keep for 2 days also. Even in temples, they keep for next day, right? They keep I mean, especially the sweets and all, right? When you cook, it won't get over, right? The sweets. So
Correct.
even we also at home, we keep. So there is nothing harm. You can have the next day, but then it is a prasad. So first time when you're keep it as prasad. So the next days, keep it as prasad, and then you can have that also. That becomes a prasad. But then try to keep at least once a day. Keep a habit of one day or morning some poha or something you can prepare and keep it for our Lord, and just follow that. If you're not able to keep all the time, 3 times in a day, at least one day in the morning, just make a practice.
So whenever we eat, by just meditating on the food, it doesn't consider as prasad. Like,
No,
for
we
example,
have to keep put tulsi and then offer. Only in a circumstance where there is not possible, like you are outside, you have to eat in some place, like you are like sattvic food only you are taking, but you are in a position you are not able to offer to Lord, right? Or some children, they are in a hostel, they don't have a choice. So then what they can do, just mentally you offer prayers and have it.
offering means you really
Hare
offer
Krishna.
that.
Yeah, you would say Hare Krishna, that mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare, like Panchatattva mantra and that. And then you take the food.
And for example, I don't have tulsi leaf. So how just Sarvam
Actually,
Krishna Arpanamastu, I can say?
but tulsi leaf is important because Krishna has himself told that Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, right? That is what we learned today. So Krishna does not accept, it is said Krishna does not accept if we are not keeping tulsi. You can get a tulsi plant, Mataji. It's very available. I mean, it grows also very fast. You can keep one plant. It's all in our hands. We need to desire.
No, because I live in a country where, to grow tulsi plant itself is a big, great thing, because during winters we bring it inside the house, and with great difficulty, we make it survive. So
where do you stay, Mataji?
I live in US. So
Okay.
I do have a tulsi plant, but I want to
Yeah,
save
yeah.
every
Weather
leaf of
and
that plant.
oh,
I
I
feel
understand.
whenever I take away one of the leaves, I feel that one leaf will become less from the plant.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
I understand.
so I was a little bit and I know if Krishna
Yeah,
wants, he will get more leaves for me on that plant. It is
yeah,
not that I control any of those leaf growing,
correct, correct,
which I
correct.
know for sure. But we very, very, we take care of it
Mataji,
as like
maybe
our.
what you can do, any nearby ISKCON will be there. You just take their suggestion, right? Local also. How do they do in temples? Because in temples you need so much of tulsi, right?
Correct.
Some solution will be there. You have to just find out locally. In US, I think you will be having so many temples. You just see how they're doing that, and you can
Yeah.
take their suggestion.
Yeah. So only what you're saying is, if I offer tulsi, that becomes like prasad.
Yeah. Offer tulsi and pray, and then keep for some time and take it. That is it. Prasad.
Oh. But not just chanting Krishna Arpanamastu doesn't consider.
No, no, no.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
very rare case. Like rare case means Krishna also will
Yeah,
understand.
with the one
Yeah,
you said,
not like
when
every time. Like if we don't have an option, then we can do that. In
okay.
a place where I mean, at home we cannot do that. At least, yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other questions? No questions.
No, Mataji, no more questions in the chat also.
Okay, then we close. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Okay, I just want to know who all are okay. I think I should ask tomorrow morning. Sorry, tomorrow evening when the class starts. How many of you are chanting at least one round here? At least one round. More is fine, but at least one
yet.
round.
I am trying to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, the whatever that mantra you said, but not with a beat. But whenever I remember, like in my day when I'm working, in between when I'm, just normally
No,
I'm doing.
Mataji,
But
for
not
counting at least one round, Mataji. One round, please start 108. Okay, it does not take you more than 10 minutes. When the class
correct.
started, we just played, right? Just sit for 10 minutes and do it. It is good.
Currently,
Start
I
like a
don't have
10.
the beats. So is it okay to do with
Beat is
one of my
okay, it's
counters?
okay. Yeah. You can do. No problem.
Okay. Radhe Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And who was that saying 16 rounds sometime? I don't. Okay. They can't. You can just, if you are not able to do every day 16, at least fix something like 4 rounds, whatever you are fixed, that you continue at least 1 round or 2 round. So just whatever you start, try to be constant. At least that you continue every day. Okay. 2 to 3 rounds rhythm. Yeah, very nice. Yes, thank you, Rajamataji. Okay. Okay. That's all. The other people are not doing still. Please start. So at least you join the class and uh, that becomes a practice for you. So after 18 days, you can continue it. And also, anyways, you are going to be in the next levels. So, okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.